Let's wait for, sorry. Let's wait for the folks to join and we can continue. Say hi if you're watching, by the way. It's getting cold in Spain as well, finally. Am I alone here or are you watching? Is there anyone watching? A message in chat will make me feel a little bit less alone. Akshat. Akshat. What the hell are you doing in the chat? You proposed one of the topics on the agenda, right? Okay, I'm not alone. I only see LinkedIn user. It's a pity I don't see who is writing that.
Hi, Frank. Good day.
Hello. Good day. How are you doing, Maria?
I'm fine. How about you?
Oh, good. Oh, good. Trying to get this started. So it looks like Akshat will not be able to join. Apparently, he messaged me on Slack, but I don't see any message from him. Are you sure you messaged me, Akshat? Because I don't see anything.
Let me try to reach out to people on the Slack channel.
He's in the chat, by the way. He's on the YouTube chat right now.
Oh,
He's you cannot see it because you cannot see it in Zoom. But yeah, there is this. This is connected to YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter and Twitch. So yeah, so people can join from any of these platforms. And Akshat is on YouTube, but yeah, I don't know. Check. Oh, I see his message now. And internet connection. He won't be able to join. Okay, no problem. Cap problema, like they say in Catalan. Cap problema, no hay. No problem, man. Okay, so Prithvi is also trying to join. Yeah, actually, I just saw your message, but it was in a thread, and yeah, I have too many, too many thread conversations. So yeah. Hey, Prithvi. Hey, so it looks like you're gonna be in the chat, I guess. So Prithvi, say hi. And let's wait. Shall we wait a little bit more? What do you think, folks? On the call, those on the call.
Yeah, I think we should wait.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So in the meantime, maybe some of you want to say something. Oh, look, Prithvi has an off-topic question. Perfect. We can fill this time. Sorry for those who are watching. For being late. Let's try to have the more people, the better. The off-topic question from Prithvi. Do you think ChatGPT will take over jobs? Which jobs? You mean programming jobs or design jobs or writer's job? You'll have to you'll have to be more specific. If I think that it will take jobs, it will take over jobs. Yes, some of them, maybe. Not ChatGPT specifically or necessarily, but some of them, some similar things might work. You know. So he's saying, I tried it today and asked it to build me a website, and it gave me the code snippet, and it worked perfectly. In a matter of seconds, I had a website. Yeah, I tried as well with AsyncAPI, and the result was almost good, but it was incorrect. So yeah, it has a problem that you cannot really trust the output of ChatGPT. It's not in any way validated that it's going to be correct. So you may get bullshit after using it. Not most probably, but at some point you're going to face it. And yeah, and for now, I think it's a good tool. It's a good tool to have. It's if you're fearing that developers and designers are gonna lose jobs because of ChatGPT, absolutely no. Absolutely no. So no way. It's only gonna make us faster. That's really cool. We're just gonna do more stuff in less time if we learn to use it as a proper tool. That's it. That's really cool. But I get some people thinking that I got some people thinking the same in the past with automation. Like if we automate everything, then why are we here, right? Like like the companies will not hire us because we automated stuff. But that is true only if you think that the job has a beginning and an end. Like you start the job here and you finish it here. But in the majority of the cases, if not all the cases, the job is never ending. It only has a start, but you never finish it. So you never finish a product, you never finish a website, or you finish a website, but you have to start another one. So and then another one, and then another one, and another one. So we don't do more in the world right now, we don't do more because we're limited by the speed of delivery that we have right now. But we need to do more, or we have to do more. So we will just be more productive, which is cool, right? It's like, think about it. In the beginning of the days of programming, you didn't have any autocomplete or code suggestions or snippets or anything like that. You had to figure out everything yourself. And now you have autocomplete without thinking about ChatGPT, right? So autocomplete snippets, blah, 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 templates of projects and so on. You have GitHub projects that you can clone and adapt to your needs. That's only making you faster. That's it. But it's not taking over any jobs. And now it's just it's a second generation, if you want, of this, like, or third generation maybe, that you're gonna have more tools to make you faster, and that's really cool. So yeah. And actually, if I had a job as a developer that could be easily replaced by ChatGPT, then I would question, what the hell am I doing? Right? So yeah, if that were my whole job, right? But it's not. We have more stuff. Someone has to input stuff to ChatGPT properly and evaluate that it's correct or not. Yes, it's enabling us to do more things efficiently. Correct. That's what I think. I've heard this so many times that AI is gonna take over jobs of developers. We're still here, and we need more and more developers. So yeah. Okay. Cool. So I think, yeah. Oh, look. So we have someone else joining right in time. Well, in any case, if you're watching but you want to join the call, you have you should have the link on the website, on the AsyncAPI website. Let me try to find if this is true. Oh no, why is it not appearing on the website? Or maybe it was, and now because it started, it's not appearing anymore. Anyway, you have I'm gonna send the link on the chat. Right. So YouTube and Twitch. And this is a link to the calendar. And there you have the link to join the Zoom call and everything. You don't have to be a watcher, but you can stay as a watcher if you want. So I had something prepared for, not something prepared. I had this ready here for Akshat to explain us what he means. But since he's not here, I actually didn't even read the thread. So where is it? So I think I'm gonna just postpone it. I'm gonna just pass now, and so he can explain it whenever he can join, and we can discuss about it. Any initial questions that you might have? Any concerns? Any asks of any kind? You can ask in the chat as well. But please remember that chat is way like a lot, that it has a lot of delay. So yeah, it has yeah, a lot of delay taken into account. Oh, this is cool. You see in the restream that I can see, and you see the You see the effect. This is really cool. Anyway, so yeah, no questions. So interrupt me whenever you want. Let's just extract this to another window so I can still see it, but you don't see, you see the other one. All right. Cool. So the topic that I wanted to cover today is about Docs UI. What is Docs UI? So Docs UI is what you see here on Studio. It's not part of Studio. Okay, it's a separate package, but Studio is making use of it. So this documentation that you see rendered here, usually on the right side of Studio, it's a separate thing, right? And I'm saying on the right side, usually on the right side, because so much. Okay, I'm just gonna make it like this. That's gonna be easy. So you usually see it on the right side, and but yeah, for the sake of you know, because the screen is not so big, I'm just gonna hide the editor, and this is what you see, right? So this is the documentation that you see generated on Studio, but again, it's a different package, and people might or might not use Studio to generate it. There are other ways to generate this documentation. The CLI tools and command line interface tools, and yeah, basically that. I think that's the other way. And people can download this. So if you are here in the editor, you can just say, I want to generate code docs, and you can select here HTML website. Okay. So if you generate HTML website, what you're gonna get is exactly this on the right, this thing on the right, with a menu, with a nice menu that is not the one that you see here in Studio. Cool. So this is Docs UI. This is the UI of the documentation, right? So that said, putting this in context. So Missy, a while ago, actually in July, 1st of July last year, she started a new proposal on how this could look like, the new one, right? The new UI, because don't know if you feel it, but this really needs an update, right? An upgrade, more than update. So it is really clunky. So the UI is really clunky. It's everything is like, the sizes of the text and everything, and the alignment and everything is like thrown through it there, like it's thrown there somehow, like anyway. So it's not following any kind of design guidelines or design pattern or anything like that. It's ugly, I would say. Still useful, but I think we can make it better, even more useful. So why am I saying that it's clunky? So for instance, if I try to do things like this one here, all of, so it was like this. So if I do all of this, and I put another one, test 2, for instance, you'll see it here. Like it says that the type of this is all of. By default, it's all collapsed, by the way, which is a pain because I need to get in each of them. Like I need to go to each of them and expand them. And you see this kind of UI that consists of and with, which is weird, It's just like, consists of test and with test2 and blah, 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 right? What, I'm not saying this is incorrect. It's just that, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird interface because what people are actually expecting to see here, including myself, is something like this. It's something like, let me rework it. So what people are expecting to see here is something like this: test and test2, which is not incorrect in this case that I'm showing, but it's not as easy as, okay, we just merge the two objects and ta-da, we have it, right? It's more complicated than that, because of the very nature of JSON schema. So JSON schema, just so you know, is this thing here. This is a JSON schema document. This is not AsyncAPI. So AsyncAPI makes usage of JSON schema. JSON schema is its own specification. It's not created by AsyncAPI. We just use it. Okay, so as an example, we can just I can show you an example here. So this is how JSON schema looks like, which is exactly what we have here. It's just that this format is JSON, right? This with the curly brackets, the double quotes, and so on. And this is YAML. If you want, so what we do here is that we don't want to write all these curly brackets, double quotes, and all this stuff, but we're writing the same structure. You have a type, you have properties, and things like this, which is exactly what you have here. You have a type, you have properties, right? And each property on Studio is YAML. In here, this is JSON. You can also type JSON there. Actually, we can just try it just for fun. So something that you should be able to do here is you paste proper JSON. All right. I think that's it. And that's what. So you have product ID, integer, and this is the description that you see here. Cool, so it works. But yeah, because I don't want to write all those curly brackets and stuff, I'm just using YAML here. Just to me, it's more convenient. That's up to people. So yeah, the thing with JSON schema is that it's not a way to define your data like you see here. The JSON schema format is intended to define constraints of the data, not the shape of the data. And that's confusing a lot of people because we all expect to see the shape of the data. We want to see if it has this field, what is this field? It has this other field, what is it? Blah, 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 right? We want to see the shape of our data. It has name, email, telephone number. We want to see the shape of our data. That's what we expect here. But JSON schema is not for that. But JSON schema is a system to apply rules of validation rules on your data, right? So that is that can be actually confusing. There are certain rules that you cannot really convert to the shape of data. I see some people are trying to join. So also I think Jonas is chatting. So Jonas is saying, just gonna throw my utopia here. I would love to see each schema format getting its own separate packages that Studio can integrate with to visualize the message payload. At the same time, allowing others to use it as well. And user can decide how they want to see it. Sure. So, oh, Maya, Mine dropped from the call. Okay. Sure. So that is one way. Like that's what Jonas is saying. Like, for instance, I want to visualize the data as its shape. Let's say, like we're seeing here. You could be doing it. No, I prefer to see visualize the payload of the data in this case as a set of constraints and validation rules, which is slightly different, right? Why is it slightly different? So one of the things that can happen to JSON, the JSON schema can do that is not easy to visualize here, is that I can have something like, for instance, I'm gonna just call it kind, right? And say this is a kind of animal, right? And then I don't know. Can bark, Boolean, right? And this will mean if it can bark or not. It's not a good example, but, but I hope you understand me. So another one is kangaroo, for instance. Okay, so for instance, imagine that the kind of animal is restricted just to a set of them. It can be a dog, cat, turtle, and I don't know, dolphin. Okay, so yeah, so imagine that we want this is the structure of our data, right? So we will have the kind attribute, but depending on the value of this attribute, of the kind attribute, you might get can bark, or you might not get it, or you might get can walk, or you might not get it, which is, as I said, this is a stupid example. You should always get it in this example. But the thing is that I cannot think about a cool example now, but you can make the existence of can bark and can walk depending on the value of this. If it's cat, if it's turtle, if it's dolphin, dog, blah, 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 right? Which makes it really difficult to visualize here, right? Because can I say it? Because the rules for showing one of the fields or another are or can be complex. It's not as easy as, oh, I'll just show them all and let the user decide, right? Like, yeah, sure, I can just come here and say description. This only appears if kind is dog, something like this, right? So you can have a note here, but that's making it dependent on the user to add this description or not. So this shape will be full of fields that are not necessary for you. If your kind of animal is turtle, you probably don't want to see none of them, right? So, or if it's dolphin, you don't want to see any of them, right? So so yeah, it is not as easy as showing the field and the type and the description and so on, because yeah, there are rules behind the scenes that might apply. So yeah, and it's complex basically. So that's it. There's a bug on GitHub UI that's I cannot close this once I do this. Yes. Sorry. But so yeah, so Missy took a first take on this, right? So she started researching it, like what will it take, how could it look like, potential variations of a JSON schema and how they will be visualized. It's all, as you see, it's all wireframes and so on, right? So yeah, so you kept updating, blah, 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 right? Like it's a long thread. So that was July 1st. And the last message was September 13, and she couldn't still finish it. So as you can imagine, it's a complex thing. So, but she's close, or she was close, as I understand it. So yeah, let's have a look at what she did, because I think it's cool, and it's really useful, and I would say it's close to a cool solution. So yeah, I'm not sure you. Well, there's no audio, so no problem. Video mode, much better. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna just explain what we're seeing here. So Missy proposed that we have payload. We have the message and the message ID, and we have a payload tab, conditions tab, and a row schema tab, right? So payload will be similar to what we see right now. It's a little bit different, but it's a beautiful way of visualizing it. Conditions will be visualization of these conditions that I was just talking before. Like if it's a dolphin, then this field and this field will not appear. If it's a dog, this field should appear, but the other should not, and things like that. So and row schema is just, it will just shout this row schema itself, like this definition, paste it there. So if you know how to read this, perfect. That's much better for you. So yeah. So with this, let's have a look. So just gonna go to the conditions now, the conditions tab. Conditions will go there. Exactly. Not sure how this will look like yet. Exactly. And row schema, which is, it lets you choose between JSON and YAML, right? So you prefer YAML, so YAML. Okay. So another cool thing to note here is you see age, for instance, the age of the patron who submitted an order. Cool. The age field might contain a rule that applies to the field itself. Like, for instance, rules are, for instance, that the age must be equal or above 1, and format should be date time, which is a mistake, but yeah, it should be a number or something. That's okay. And you see that there is another tab here on the field itself. It says conditional logic. If you click on conditional logic, you will see something there, which is this field only appears if, well, this is not a good example. For instance, here on beverage. So accepted values are water and soda, right? But it's only it can be soda only if your age is above 18 or 21 in the US. So yeah, so the conditional logic here should probably show you that that information, like accepted values is master and soda, but only when the rules are when age is above 18 or 21 or whatever they decide. And if not, it will be just water. Okay. So this kind of conditional logic could go into this conditional logic tab. So, and yeah, and the usual required, or optional, whatever, and examples here, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so I think that's it. It's a good overview of how this could be looking like. Right? I don't know if it has more stuff here. Maybe no. Okay. So yeah, thank you, Missy. And Any questions so far from those of you who are watching or participating in the call? By the way, it's a really cool thread that I recommend, this whole issue here, that I recommend having a look, because this is the real job, I would say, of UX, UI and UX designer, right? So researching what's the best way to present information to the user, and taking care of the experience itself, not just the UI, not just the beautiful colors and the beautiful fonts and so on, but like what's the best way for the user to consume this information and quickly find whatever they need, right? So this UI needs to be easy to grasp, and yeah, it should be it's to be useful above everything, right? So I'm gonna share the link to the issue because I think it's a good one, and it's a good one for designers. Missy shared all her progress. So what you saw was just the last one, but she did a lot of iterations on this, and we discussed different ideas and so on, and what we were highlighting that this one has a problem, this one has something that I like, and that was a huge iteration, right? So yeah, she even researched like what fields we should be represented. So these are all the possible properties that JSON schema can give you, and restrictions and so on. So this is all the information that we will have to be representing on a single field here. So you see string, description, allowed values. This is just a few of them. These are all the potential information that you could be showing there, like I said, if then else. So it's as complex as that, as like you can have conditional logic, and that's why it's hard to visualize, right? So this one, I think it's a good example. It's a good issue if you want to improve your UX skills and UI skills as well, and UX research as well, and yeah, and nothing better than an open source project, because yeah, we're not in a rush, right? So there's no one waiting for this to happen tomorrow. So yeah, it's a really cool way to learn from the whole community and telling you like, this is useless for me for this reason or for this other reason. Can we iterate on this and that? So this is basically what we will need to be doing here, and driving this forward in any way, but just moving forward. So yeah. So Prithvi is saying something in chat. I got a brief idea of the thing, but to understand the code in Studio, I will need to learn JSON schema, right? Kinda, yeah, it's better if you learn it. But I mean, Missy didn't know JSON schema in the beginning, but after researching so much and looking on the website that I just shared here, you have this JSON schema website here that has, I would say, like a comprehensive guide of how JSON schema works and what it's possible to do with this. And also there is a JSON schema channel on Slack, on our Slack, which is connected to the JSON schema Slack, right? So it's a direct connection to their Slack. So no better place to ask questions, because they are the experts on JSON schema, and they can answer any questions that you might have. Also on AsyncAPI, but yeah, like JSON schema folks are the ones who know the best, of course. And And but you really don't need to be a master of Json Schema, right? So you just need to understand what's the basic of it, like what is it for, and understanding the basic things. And yeah, and now we will just point you to things like this, like if then else that might appear, that might go unnoticed. Don't worry, we'll make them notable, so, so that you don't forget about these cases. And yeah, and it's the process itself is about researching and coming up with some mockups or wireframes, even not just mockups but wireframes. This quality of this basically. So it doesn't have to be so elaborated. So this is the example input, and the outputs will be this UI. And this was just an experiment, like that we put string here or integer here and the rules and so on. But you see, there's no design here, UI design. It's just it is just a research on how a wireframe on how this could look like, more or less, right? So yeah, and that's it from my side. So if you got any questions, what I would love to see happening in the future, can be near future or not, but hopefully near future. It's someone just saying, hey, I'm just gonna give it a try. I'm just gonna take it, and I'm gonna need a lot of help probably, but yeah, not fearing the issue itself, and taking it with patience, because it's gonna take long, but it's going to be a major part of how people consume AsyncAPI, because documentation is the #1 reason why people use AsyncAPI. So by large, by far. So yeah, this will be consumed by everyone using AsyncAPI basically. And but don't worry about that. So if it's, don't worry about saying like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm gonna do something that is a failure. It's a complete failure. It's gonna be worse than what we have already. So don't worry about that. and yeah, and you don't have to reduce it until you're happy. So yeah. So that's it. How to proceed with this? Yeah, it's just we just need someone who will say, "Can I give it a try?" And let's see. And from there on, I'm happy to help as much as needed. I'm sure Jonas can give you a lot of input as well, because Jonas is actually one of the people who are working closely with Json Schema and all the problems or difficulties that it might entice. So yeah, and that's it. From there, we will keep updating on the design meetings, and we'll keep iterating over it. And at some point, we'll have something cool and beautiful, and we'll ship it. We'll need some people to implement the code part of it, right? Not just the design. And but code is not a problem, as you can imagine. Code, we have lots of people doing code. The problem is that we don't have designers, or even wannabe designers. So you don't have to be an experienced designer. It's a cool opportunity to learn on a real use case. And there's also Figma Workspace. I think it's called Workspace. I don't know. So, which is what you see on the video, what you saw on the video before. So you have these tabs, right? And yeah, this is something that Missy did. And tabs flow. So this is another flow. I think there was an example here. Okay, not here. This is the third flow. So yeah, so it's like this was a cool experiment. So on the left side, you see all the conditions, and on the right side, you see the result of applying this condition. So you could be doing like payload is in between 1 and 21, and you see this. Payload is you see that well, it was not changed, but here it's sulfate this quarter. Then if you okay, yes, yeah, oh yeah, so that's not alcohol, yeah, true. Yeah, so yeah, if age is above 21, you will see accepted values now has alcohol, right? And yeah, what happens if beverage is empty? Things like this. So all the possible conditions. The problem with this is that, I mean, not the problem, but one of the things with this is, first of all, it's the layout. So it has 3 columns. So I'm not sure how this is going to fit here in a very narrow space. So that's one of the problems. The other thing that we'll have to solve is that you should be able to check multiple conditions here. Like, what if beverage is empty and age is above 21, for instance, or some other condition is on or is off, or so you should be able to check, which is not a problem. But yeah, so you should be able to check these things, and I think this could be a cool thing to have on a tab, like the one here, right? So this could go here inside the tab, so you can check the conditions there, and it will affect what you see here, just as an idea. So yeah, might not be as obvious as seeing it on the left side, but could work. So this was the initial thing. Oh yeah, this was another try. Like, what if payload age is 21, above 21, payload beverage may also contain alcohol. This is a cool one that is speaking the language of the people. It's not machine readable. I mean, this one is machine readable, but payload beverage may also contain alcohol. It's easy to understand. Then it's in my opinion, it's easier than accepted values, blah, 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 blah. People might ask a question like, what the hell is accepted values? What does it mean, right? So yeah, we have a chance to speak in a more natural language here in this case. Also, it says if, and it looks like code, right? But we could take an approach of saying, let's write it as natural language, as a sentence. If payload age is above 21, then payload beverage can also contain alcohol without looking like code. Another approach. Another approach. I'm sorry to be getting back again all the time. Another approach that might not be cool for visualization, but might be cool for people who have what's it called, sight problems? Is it called sight problems, or disabilities, or people who need to basically hear the things instead of see the things because they're blind or whatever, right? So it might be cool that, for instance, in here, conditional logic, you see another design, for instance, like the one here or something like that, or the one here. But if the alternate text that the element will have, which is what blind people or screen readers will read or will speak, right? we'll have that sentence, we'll have that natural sentence. So actually, people using screen readers could actually hear a proper sentence and not something weird, something that people might not even know what it means. So yeah, and we at the very least we have, that I know of, I think we have already in our community. I've already met 2 blind people using AsyncAPI that I know. I'm sure there are more. So and at least 2 blind people, completely blind people using screen readers. And I know that there are more people using screen readers for other reasons, not because they're blind. So something to take into account as well. Beverage, yeah, same thing. This is another format. If payload age is above 21, then accepted values, which is the one that we could see here, right? Accepted values. Then accepted values water soda alcohol. So, yeah, you get an idea. So yeah, that's it. Any questions? Happy to share this Figma, by the way, with anyone who needs access. You gotta tell me, because yeah, I cannot open it to anyone, unluckily, unfortunately. Any questions, Maya?
No, I'm going to reach out to you because I have a lot of questions and I want to ask you.
Okay. Yeah, you can also ask me privately if you prefer. That's completely fine. All of you. So you don't have to be asking on the meeting, or maybe you don't have the questions now, so don't worry. And Adnima, any questions?
Yeah. No questions. This was my first time on a call with AsyncAPI. I just got the calendar link from one of the blogs when I was exploring like how to get started. And yeah, I'm very new to the community, and hopefully after joining a few meetings, I will start contributing also in some way. So yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Happy to help as needed, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So then Prithvi, you were asking lots of questions as well in the chat. I mean, not lots, but yeah. Okay, so you're saying in the chat that you ask in Slack if you need help, okay? Which you will, okay? Yeah, whoever takes this issue, or group of people, I mean, it doesn't have to be just one person. Actually, I recommend that you work in pair or in group with other people. I would say more than 2 people might be a lot, but because it's hard for you to then work together. But I think this will be a really cool issue to work with a colleague on the community, and that's you prefer. So yeah, so whoever takes this issue is gonna need help, I'm sure. It's gonna have questions. Cool, folks. So I think that's all for today. I'll be scheduling the next design meeting for in 2 weeks. So we'll have it in 2 weeks. We're doing this meeting every 2 weeks. This is the second one. So if you're new, like Arunima, if you're new, you're not missing a lot. This is the second one. So we're just getting started with the design community at AsyncAPI. We're trying to format. We're trying to create a strong design presence in the community, and so yeah. So this is the second one, and the third one will be in 2 weeks. Again, I'll set up for. I'll have to check my calendar. Sorry for that, but yeah, I'll have a look at at the Slack channel of AsyncAPI. So I'm gonna type the link to the. Okay, so this is the link. If you're not on Slack yet, you can join our Slack using this link, and I'm gonna share it on YouTube and Twitch as well. So the other folks, the interface doesn't let me share links on other platforms. But if you go to the website, you'll see the link is as easy as coming to asyncapa.com, and you go to the community tab and you have Slack Workspace here, which will take you straight to an invitation page for Slack, for joining our Slack. So you don't have to. It's an auto invite, so you join immediately. It's open access. So yeah, and that's it. I'll keep you posted on the design channel, and that's it. We'll keep chatting. Thank you. See you at the next meeting. Bye bye. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye.